Hello, welcome to the weather update. It is almost 9 o'clock on April the 4th, 2023. And yeah, pretty mild day across the area, pretty warm. A lot of areas got on Long Island, got close to 70 and well into the 70s in New Jersey. And you can see the clouds we had a lot of cirrus around and a mix of cirrus, some altocumulus, and also these low stratus or fractostratus clouds that you see kind of coming in off the shore now, and that is a sign of the marine air mass that we're going to have for tomorrow. Just showing you what the skies look like today. Obviously, it was pretty warm here in Mineola. It was a lot cooler on the South Shore. I would say 10 degrees cooler here in Babylon. That's what the sky looked like. So you see some altocumulus around. You can see that kind of altocumulus deck that we had. And yes, they're getting more new poles there, of course. And then the altocumulus deck broke up for a little bit, and we had sunshine with a lot of contrails and cirrus around. And then you can see the fractocumulus or fractostratus coming in off the water here in this shot. You can clearly see it right here coming in. And then it overcasted pretty quickly. And within about a minute, it just kind of rolled in. And then we still had a little bit of it this evening as well. So let's go to the weather map now. So let's put the weather map up here, which I didn't do before. And you'll see, got a stalled frontal boundary just to the north of us, and this is going to be like a backdoor front that's going to wind up coming through tomorrow or later overnight and bringing cooler but still kind of damp weather with that easterly flow in the marine air. And then you can see this next big storm system here going up into the Great Lakes, and yeah, more severe weather again for the same areas that saw it the last time, unfortunately. So speaking of that, yeah, we got to talk more about the New Jersey tornadoes before we even talk about the current conditions out there, because we have let's go to this graphic here on the weather story. All right, so we'll just use this graphic here. This kind of lists all the tornadoes in the outbreak here that I spoke about. We had, as far as New Jersey, Jackson Township, that was an EF2. Maximum winds of 130 miles an hour. It was on the ground for 2.1 miles, and it was 200 yards wide. The Jackson Howell Township tornado was a separate tornado from the same storm, an EF2, also maximum winds of 120 miles an hour on the ground for 1.4 miles, and its width was 150 yards. Seagirt, EF2 as well. So that's three EF2s in the state of New Jersey. And I don't know why the governor hasn't really toured these areas. I don't know. Normally I think Phil Murphy does a great job, but I don't know. He's been out to lunch on this whole thing. He hasn't gone to any of these towns. He hasn't even addressed this, all right, which is surprising because I would expect him to do that. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, Seagirt, also an EF2 of 120 miles an hour. It was only on the ground for a very short distance, 0.14 miles, and it was only 50 yards wide. But it was a very small tornado, but it was intense. Small in area, but intense. Then there was one in Allentown, Cream Ridge, New Jersey. That was an EF1, 110 mile an hour maximum winds on the ground for 4 miles. And this one, 550 yards wide. The Wrightstown Township, Newton, Pennsylvania. All right, this is Pennsylvania here. But we have another one in New Jersey here. Cinnamonston, Delran, Moorestown, New Jersey. EF1, 100 mile an hour winds on the ground for 6 miles. It was 600 yards wide. The Crosswicks, New Jersey tornado. EF1, 100 mile an hour winds on the ground for 2.8 miles, 300 yards wide. Mays Landing, New Jersey. EF1, 100 mile an hour winds on the ground for 0.9 miles and 110 yards wide. Now, there was a straight line wind event in Palmyra, Riverton, and that the winds there gusted to 100 miles an hour, and it was over an area of 1 mile. It's almost like a rear flank downdraft kind of deal, I guess. 600 yards wide on that one. So, really incredible. Just incredible to see this, and we have storm surveys of a detailed text summary that was issued today. All right, so we're going to update this again on this, all right, briefly. All right, so this is April 1st, 2023. Some details have been added below from the Mays Landing EF1 tornado. A summary will be available for the Mays Landing tornado tomorrow. So, you know what? I'm going to do a separate video, I think, on this whole thing. We're going to go over it again, and we're going to read this, and we're going to go to the map and everything. I'm going to do a separate video on that, but I figured I'd just talk about it again. All right, but I have to talk about the current weather right now. So we got right now, yep, more severe weather again. Tornado watch for parts of, it looks like parts of Missouri, into Illinois, into a little bit of Ohio. We have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings, and looks like one tornado warning in there. And then north of that, there's a severe thunderstorm watch. Go to the southwest, we got a bunch of red flag and high wind warnings in effect. And of course, in the Dakotas, they're getting more snow with blizzard conditions. So let's go look at our current temperatures out there right now. And today was, depending on where you were today, the temperatures varied quite a bit, and still do to some extent. On Long Island, generally in the mid-50s. If you're on the South Shore, it's more like maybe low 50s. You see like 51, 53 in Massapequa. Go to the middle of the island like Mineola, it's 58. 59 in Lake Grove, 57 at Islip. Look at the city, it's warmer there. 64, still at 64 at Central Park. In New Jersey, not really cooling off that much. It's still 67 at Lakehurst right now. I guess I'm eating my words about Jersey cooling off at night, because it's certainly not doing that tonight. 67 at night. I mean, and it's humid out there. I'll put the dew points in. You see dew points in the upper 50s, low 60s. Really just a little bit muggy out there, you know. So let's take a look at what it's like at Islip right now. You see that dew point at 56. Got a 57-degree air temperature, and again, that is above the normal high. And here we are at 9 o'clock at night, and we're sitting at 57, which is still warm, and that's with the sea breeze there. All right, so that's how incredible it has been today. All right, so Islip didn't make it to 70, obviously. You can see temperatures generally staying generally in the 60s, because it was a decent enough sea breeze to keep those temperatures. Actually, we were looking at Farmingdale. All right, so that was Farmingdale. I didn't realize that. Let's go to Islip. So Islip's 58 degrees, dew point 57. My mistake. I do very much apologize for that. But not really a big difference here. Islip is even cooler with only low 60s. So, yeah, much cooler if you're further out east on the island, obviously. We didn't really get into that. If we go look at areas further north, let's like Carl Place, for instance, here. I know there's something wrong with their dew point, but the temperature, we got up into the low 70s. So, yeah, it was much warmer here, Central Nassau versus Central Suffolk, as well as the North Shore, all right? Let's look at what it was like in Jersey, because it was even hotter there. So Lakehurst, as I said earlier, 64 degrees at this hour, which is incredible to have such a warm temperature here. And you can see the temperatures soaring into the mid-70s there. Soaring into the mid-70s there. And again, very warm there, mid-70s. So quite warm in New Jersey. Quite warm. And, we get a piece of that heat here in Mineola, which is not so great. Again, if you're more toward the South Shore, those coveted areas, I guess people don't like the heat because they'd rather be in those areas. You didn't have to deal with that. So let's go look at our high. We'll look at the highs on the map here. Let's pull this up here. So here you go. This kind of shows the story here where the 70s were. Mainly in the middle of the island, low 70s, 72. Carl Place, 74 around Floral Park. JFK made it to 64. Farmingdale made it to 66. Islip made it to 64, which is still above normal. All right. But you can see where the 70s were at, that northwest Suffolk, Central Nassau area. The city as well, Central Park, 72. West Hampton only got up to 61 and only 60 in East Hampton. And now we make our way further west into New Jersey, where it's even warmer. So we go especially Ocean County here. This is why this is becoming like a tornado hotspot, because the heat. Toms River got up to 76 at Lakehurst, 78 at Coyle Field. So, yeah, this is kind of warmth. And even around Philadelphia, close to 80. So that's pretty brutal Again, for this time of the year, it's absolutely ridiculous. Looking at the lows, for the lows to load here, and we got some of them here. I want to see if West Hampton got down to 36, but most everybody wasn't as cold this morning, with generally lows in the mid-40s. So let's go back to the Weather Service's webpage here, and they have a little graphic on our highs for today. So today's observed high temperatures: Newark was 73, Central Park 73, LaGuardia 72. You see the difference. Islip now much cooler, 65, JFK 64, and Bridgeport 58. And it was the warmest day of the year so far for Central Park and LaGuardia. All right, so if we go look at the climate report for today, which we'll go ahead and do, just to show you how much above normal we were. So Islip got up to 65. The normal's 54, so the high was 11 degrees above normal. The low is 42. That's 5 degrees above normal. So that gives us an average of 54, which is 8 degrees above normal for the day, and that's Islip. All right, now we move it over to New York. So I didn't mean to do that. All right, now I got to reopen it. All right, so now we'll go and we'll look at Central Park. So Central Park got up to 73. The normal is 57. That's 16 degrees above normal for Central Park. The low is 48. Normal is 41. So that's 7 degrees above normal. So the average of 61 is 12 degrees above normal for Central Park. Quite a large. We're leaving off March right in April. This month will probably also be above normal. It doesn't seem like we're gonna. You're gonna wonder, when are we gonna be below normal again? Well, we got to get what they're getting out west. We're not doing that. So, just a crappy pattern, and it really is just awful. It really is. So, let's go to the models here. Obviously, first before we do that, let me go to the radar to show you. So this is the storm. It's not widespread, but you see it looks like there's some severe weather in Iowa right now. All right, so this is going to make its way into Missouri, into parts of Illinois. So these are the areas that have to watch out. Looks like we got a pretty bad cell around Canton, Illinois. Yeah, these are the storms that we have to watch out for. Isolated, not widespread, but there is some severity there. And when we go to the Storm Prediction Center, they have moderate risk in 2 areas. Again, looks familiar, doesn't it? 2 areas for that Illinois, Iowa area, and then another one a little more into, unfortunately, it looks like parts of Arkansas again. So that's the day 1 convective outlook. If we go to the day 2 convective outlook, we continue with risks tomorrow as well. Enhanced risk for this large area here, all the way from Kentucky, West Virginia, Indiana, parts of Illinois, into Ohio, into parts of Michigan. The slight risk extends a little further southwest toward Texas, East Texas, and parts of Louisiana. So, we continue with more severe weather again. It's incredible. We can look at the lightning here. See what we've got on the lightning here and there. Yeah, some of these cells are producing quite a bit of lightning as well. Yeah, I see it. Yep, there you go. So here we go again with more severe weather. It's incredible to see this just continue. So let's go to the models now, and we are going to look and see what we have to come. Obviously, there's your low in the Great, that's approaching the Great Lakes. And if you look at the GFS, you'll see, takes the usual track very far to the left. I mean, that is real far to the left. It's almost to the left of the Great Lakes. It just shows how big this freaking ridge is in the east, all right? But you'll see there's that backdoor front that you can sort of just about make out. And there is, you can sort of see that V right there. So that's why they got the risk of severe weather tomorrow as well continuing. That low makes it way up into, look at how far left that is. My God. So you can see the ridge, and we get a cold front, slow-moving cold front, though. And it's looking like a slow-moving cold front. So because of the movement of it and because of the position of things, even though we're going to have that warm air, I don't think we're going to see the kind of severe weather we had with the last front. All right, so the front slowly sinks to the south on Friday, kind of stalls out, a high pressure builds in, and eventually slowly builds in more toward the weekend, and we should have mostly sunny skies for at least one of those days. All right. So again, and the temperatures. We'll bring up Ventu Sky to kind of visualize the temperatures here. Show you the warmth again that is spread across the east here, and you can see it here. Um, I like using this site. You can clearly see the warmth here. Look at this. I mean, it's the same old pattern we've been dealing with. I mean, we're sick of this already. So the west has the trough. We're in this heat ridge here, right? And then the west has the trough and the cool air. They're getting the cool air right here. All right, and we're stuck in this heat. It's been like this all winter long. All right, so if you're in somewhere like North Dakota, oh, you're enjoying teens and 20s, or even Colorado's in the 20s right now. Go north of there into Wyoming, 15s. I mean, this is much better. I mean, I'd much rather have that than the heat. You know, this heat is horrible, man. I hate it. All right, but you know, we're stuck with the heat ridge, unfortunately. This damn pattern is just continuing in a different way, but it's still keeping us above normal. Forget about any snow and forget about any cold air. Because now spring is here, and I'm sorry, you're gonna have to wait till next year for winter. We didn't get one this year. Maybe we'll get one next year. Maybe. I can't guarantee it because it's not a sure thing anymore. We used to be, but not anymore. And then if we take a look at the humidity and look at the dew points, this will kind of illustrate it as well. And you can see all that moisture that's coming up, real humid air all the way through the whole eastern third of the country there. And then you got the nice dry air over here. And that's why places like New Mexico got strong winds, into even Arizona. Dry air, strong winds, that's bad for brush fires. All right. And that's why I think we have some over there. Let's go to the high resolution satellite and see if there are any. Not sure, but we will take a look and see. Can't really see through the cloud cover. This could be one right here. I don't know. Let's see if we can. That might be one. I don't know. But there are some fires over here. So we have to watch out for that threat as well. All right. So let's go back to the models here, and we'll take a closer look at our area. And we'll go to the HRRR, which I don't think I have enough of it in. Yeah, the 0Z is not enough of it in because I came on a little earlier tonight. So we'll have to use the 18Z, which is an older run, but we'll go ahead and use it. So you see little speckles tomorrow. So we have this backdoor front that's going to come through and kind of get stuck probably somewhere maybe south of Toms River in New Jersey, all right? And in the cooler air, it'll be cloudy, and there could be some spotty drizzle or even a light shower. So, you know, unfortunately, it's going to be a little wet tomorrow, but not really going to see much rain of any consequence, all right? And then as we go into Thursday, that front moves back. We get into the warm sector, and then we watch this slow-moving cold front here. And you can see it's got some isolated pop-up showers, but look at how slow this thing is moving. And that's the problem. It's not really putting a lot of lift together because it's not moving very fast. The parent low is way, way up there. So, you know, the atmosphere is more stable because of that. It's way up. I mean, it's crazy how far that low is up there. It's absolutely nuts. It really is. So let's look at our dew points and wind flow. So obviously this we have this. You'll see the backdoor front pretty quickly here. Winds go to the east tomorrow. We have a little bit of a lowering of the dew point, so it won't feel as humid. The HRRR, this is the 18Z, like I said, has the front literally right south of, almost on top of Toms River, almost. All right, you'll see when we put the temperatures in, it's going to be even more of a difference. So you see those east winds, and then that warm front returns. It's Wednesday night. That could initiate a possibility of a shower, but again, not really strong chances there. And then for Thursday, this is when we get that real surge of warm air, and it's going to be humid. Dew points well into the mid 60s. It's going to really be humid. It's going to feel like a summer day. And you do see that line there. So we have to watch, even though the model isn't developing anything, we still have to watch for the possibility that there could be some thunderstorms. I just don't think the setup is looking as it was the last time, which was, I believe, what was it, Friday night? Yeah, I think it was, it was Saturday night. It was Saturday night. So here you go. Look at this difference here. I mean, look at this. So this is tomorrow afternoon. We're dealing with temperatures in the upper 40s and low 50s. Mid 50s as you go through the city, and then there's a really defined line right over Toms River. Once you go south and west of Toms River, mid 70s, maybe even near 80 degrees. And if you go and look in the mid-Atlantic, mid 80s, this could be record-breaking heat tomorrow in this area. That is unbelievable. Somebody's going to break some records tomorrow, I think. And that's incredible there, and that's what we got to worry about for Thursday. So I'm going to move this along here, and you'll see what happens as we get into Thursday. So you see that front move northward here, and then boom, here comes the heat. Jersey, I think you're going to have a good chance at 80 degrees on Thursday for New Jersey. As far as Long Island goes, it does show a sea breeze. It does show northern Nassau well into the 70s. But the South Shore, of course, the place to be, where it'll be South Shore, Nassau, probably mid to upper 60s. As you go a little further out east, maybe a little more of a stronger sea breeze. You'll have upper 50s and low 60s. But this is a big difference here. The HRRR is really showing this. We have to watch that sea breeze because the temperature is going to be all over the place on Thursday. All right? And for all we know, we may even see the sea breeze front initiate a shower or thunderstorm. That is actually a possibility. When you see this kind of gradient here, this is definitely quite impressive, I might add. So let's go to the, we looked at all that. Let's go to the GFS model. And we will go ahead and look at the GFS and do the same thing with the dew points here. So again, you see that humidity coming in. There's that backdoor front, and then the humidity comes right in, and we go. Thursday is gonna feel like a summer day. Then the winds go to the northwest, but you see the front kind of gets hung up a little to the south, but at least the heat is gone for Friday. Heat and humidity is gone, and we'll have dry air for the weekend. Light winds as well, light northerly winds. It looks like for the weekend. So let's look at our temperatures, and you'll see how all this is going to change. So here comes the front, and again, look at this. I mean, yeah, it has an 80. What is that? An 84 over Toms River, or an 82? So yeah, Toms River is going to be in the 80s, I think, Thursday. Long Island, we'll have to see what happens as far as the city goes. We'll have to see. It may be just shy of 80, but it's going to be a lot warmer than it was today for sure. That's going to be a brutal day to watch. And then for Friday, you can see a little bit of a strange pattern here with kind of warmer temperatures over Long Island and New Jersey. It's still in the 60s, which is above normal. And then as we get toward the weekend, we see temperatures drop to the near the normal with highs in the low to mid 50s and lows at night in the 30s, maybe a little bit below normal. Sunday, you see that continue here, mid 50s as well. So near normal, I guess. It'll be better than this we're going to deal with on Thursday. It's going to be absolutely brutal. It's going to be absolutely brutal. I'll just run the F-Gen. I don't think we're going to see anything here that impressive, and there really isn't. That's the thing. So, again, because it's a slow-moving front and it's not a sharp front, the parameters just aren't there. Maybe just more of a scattered storm, but it's just too far right now. We'll have a little bit of a better idea tomorrow night, I think, or maybe a lot of a better idea. But let's go to the skies now. Obviously, tomorrow we will see overcast conditions with that backdoor front. Clouds, and like I said, maybe even a little bit of drizzle with that east wind. Hopefully not too much drizzle because I hate drizzle. But and you can see Thursday it's showing a lot of clouds. I think it's going to be of the high variety, and it's generally overdoing it. You'll see when I look at the higher resolution model. So you can see here comes the front again. Kind of still deal with clouds on Friday, even Saturday. We may still be dealing with these clouds. Then finally we would have to wait until Sunday to get rid of them. Now, there's a little bit of a difference in the model. So if I look at the Canadian model, it has this front further to the south on Saturday. So we'll have to see if it sinks further south. Maybe we get a mostly sunny day on Saturday. Otherwise, it's going to be sun and high clouds. So let's go to the RGM here. It's again a higher resolution. Kind of shows that front pretty nicely. So let's go to tomorrow. You see all the clouds there. This is the backdoor front. But you see where the sun is out. Literally, if you're in Toms River, I mean, if you go just west of Toms River, you may have the sun out and temperatures near 80 degrees. Very summer-like out there with some hazy sunshine and, junky skies. And then the fog bank just to the east with the stratus. And then as we get into Thursday, you'll see we'll have that hazy sunshine with cirrus. Here's that front. You can clearly see it. But you can see it slowly sinks, but you see it's a slow mover. And I have a feeling the NAM isn't giving us a lot of thunderstorm activity either, and there really isn't a lot here. I meant not the NAM, but the RJAM. See a little bit of it later Thursday afternoon. It's showing something. We'll have to watch because it's early in the game, and like I said, it won't be as widespread, and I don't think we'll see tornadoes, but it could still be some hefty thunderstorms with that for sure. Let's go to the NAM 3, which we have the 18Z NAM 3 as well to look at. So we'll look at the NAM 3. And this is the NAM 3 tomorrow. You can see sort of that little drizzles of crap that we're going to have tomorrow. So, yeah, it's going to probably be a little bit of a damp and wet day, which I hate. But, it's not going to really amount to much. It's just going to be annoying to walk around in. And it'll still flood Mineola because even drizzle floods Mineola. But you'll see here as we get into Thursday, there's that. So it is developing some scattered severe thunderstorms. There's one right there in the afternoon. Look at that, right over Jersey again. So, and again, I think it's going to be the same areas that are going to have the best risk for severe thunderstorms. Again, the areas that heat up the most: Ocean County, Monmouth County, Burlington County. That general area there, it gets hot. It's becoming almost like a little local tornado alley. But it doesn't really have anything over us. And that's as far as this is going to go. This is the NAM 12. So let's look at the I'm sorry, that was the NAM 3. This is the NAM 12. All right, I'm getting the 3 and the 12 mixed. I'm sorry, I am tired. All right, so here we are into, and again, this is what it looks like tomorrow. You see nothing really showing up, but again, there could be drizzle. But this is what it looks like. But we'll have to watch because, again, you do have that moist air mass, and just the heat of the day could help fuel some severe thunderstorms. I just don't think it's going to be like as big of a line as we had. But there could still be some thunderstorms out there. We'll have to watch. It's early in the game, and we'll have a little bit of a better idea tomorrow night. I think we'll have more miles to work with. We can look at the Cape as well. So go back to this, and we will put this in thunderstorms here. And we will look at the Cape as we go into your Thursday. It's not really showing any Cape. This would be the Cape. Yes, it's not really showing too much Cape, but it's showing a little bit over Jersey. A little bit over Jersey. You'll notice a little bit over Jersey, all right? If we go to the lift index, that's a little more impressive. Again, you see those same areas again, all right? So let's roll this again to tomorrow, and we'll go ahead and look at, whoa. Something was impressive there for a moment. Let me go back to lift index. It was showing something. Yeah, over the Pennsylvania there maybe. Yeah, that's that severe risk that might extend into Pennsylvania. That's for tomorrow. So let's go back to the temperatures. All right, so this is what we got for tomorrow. Again, you'll see the difference. You see Long Island, we're going to have that, gray, gloomy, clouds and maybe some drizzle around. Hopefully not drizzle. It would just be nice just to have the clouds and just have it cooler. And then as you go into Jersey, you'll see it warm up. So Toms River itself, still on the coast, it could still get that cooler air. You have to go more inland to get the heat. It's southwest of Toms River here. So we go into 2 o'clock. You'll see it's really warm in areas around Philadelphia. It could be near 80. All right. But then as we get into Thursday, this is the brutal day here. We're still, this is the brutal day where it's showing around 80 degrees. You see, look at this, 81, 82, low 80s in Jersey. It's incredible. It might be a record breaker. Mid 70s in the city, and for Long Island, it has low I would say mid 70s for the North Shore, and probably mid 70s for the Middle of the Island. The South Shore, of course, cooler, being the cooler place to be. Is cooler literally and figuratively speaking. So that's pretty much what we're going to be dealing with. So little break tomorrow. It's going to be kind of gloomy, but then we got to deal with the heat. And if you're in Jersey, man, you're going to really be dealing with the heat. But we'll have to see how hot it gets here. It all depends on the wind direction. If it's a little more westerly, we could get more of this heat from New Jersey blowing in over Nassau County, and I hope not. Hopefully, we have more of the southerly flow, like the HRRR is saying, because it's going to be brutal here for sure. Well, hey, I have the air conditioner on already tonight. All right, so that's it. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.